Okay, so here we have an example where we can compute material, price, and quantity variances. It says Glacier Peak Outfitters has the following direct material standards for the fiber fill in its mountain parka. So if they use 0.1 kilograms of fiber fill per parka at $5 per kilogram, last month 210 kilograms of fiber fill were purchased and used to make 2,000 parkas. The material cost a total of $1,029. So let's go back to our model for calculating direct materials variances. So we need to start out with the actual quantity times the actual price, and we'll then fill in actual quantity times standard price and standard quantity times standard price. So the materials price variance usually starts with what's actually paid for a quantity of materials, then compared to what was paid according to the standard. So it's $21. Let's take a look here. $21 favorable. The materials price variance is favorable because the actual price was less than the standard price by 10 cents per kilogram. So you can see here they only paid, the actual price was $4.90, and the standard price here was $5. So they paid less, which is how they ended up with a favorable price variance. The materials quantity variance then is the difference between the standard cost of materials times the actual quantity versus the standard quantity. So this will be the difference between what was actually used in production versus the standard quantity that should have been used. And it's $50 unfavorable. So the materials quantity variance is unfavorable because the actual quantity exceeds the standard quantity by 10 kilograms. So again, they should have used 200 kilograms of fiber fill and they ended up using 210 kilograms. So that's why they had a $50 unfavorable variance. Now we can also calculate that using the formula. So you take the actual quantity times the difference between the actual price and the standard price. And again, you'll see we still get the $21 favorable. And the materials quantity variance, take the standard price times the actual quantity minus the standard quantity. Still come up with the same $50 unfavorable. Now, just in case you're wondering what might cause, say, a difference in the materials price variance. And there are a lot of different factors that might affect the price paid for raw materials, which include the quantity purchased. The more you purchase, the better discount you usually get, the quality of the materials and the delivery method. And usually the purchasing department is responsible for the materials price variance. Now, the materials quantity variance can vary because of usually production line issues. So perhaps you have an inexperienced worker and they're using more product than they should. Maybe there's faulty machinery, there's carelessness. I've seen in the past where the production department blames the purchasing department because the materials purchased are of an inferior quality, so they end up using more materials than they should have. So again, there's a lot of reasons why the materials quantity variance may happen as well. So just to clarify that most companies compute the materials price variance when the materials are actually purchased, and then they go ahead and calculate the materials quantity variance after the materials are used in production. So the materials price variance is computed using the entire amount of material purchased during the period, and the materials quantity variance is computed using only the portion of materials that was used in production during the period. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, typically the purchasing manager and production manager are usually the ones that are held responsible for the materials price variance and the material quantity variance respectively. The standard price is used to compute the quantity variance so that the production manager is not held for the performance of the purchasing manager.